This is our agenda for today. First, I'm going to talk about the definition of AI itself according to some experts. And then I'm going to continue with the reason why we need AI in our life. Here we're going to talk about the advantages and benefits of AI in our life. Next, I'm going to talk about how AI helps a real-life business. What kind of application that used by business nowadays. And then, for the most important part of our discussion for today, I'm going to talk about the recent trends in AI. Right? As the introductions, I'm going to start with the definition of AI. Okay? There is a quote from AI textbook by Rosalind Norvig in 2003. It says, "A system is rational if it does the right thing given what it knows." So, if it doesn't have enough information, a system can't act rationally. If you heard about the terms AI, you must be thinking of somewhat sophisticated, clever, smart, autonomous, something like that. But what is actually the definition of AI itself according to some experts that initiate this technology in the beginning? Actually, there is no single definition of AI out there, so we have quite a lot of different kind of definition of AI according to expert. And here, Rosalind Norvig make it simpler and divide the definition of AI into four most important parts. First, AI is a system that can think like a human. Here we use cognitive modeling. That's mean we observe how the human's brain works. We can achieve through three different ways. The first, through introspections. What is that? Introspections means trying to catch our own thoughts as they go by. And then the second way, we can use psychological experiment. So we observing a person in action. Or the third way, we can also try to use the brain imaging. That means we can see how the brain works in action. The second definition, AI can be considered as a system that can think rationally, as I mentioned before. A system is rational if it does the right thing given what it knows. So here we use logics. You know Aristotle's syllogism? They provide pattern for the argument structures that can always give the correct conclusion when it given the correct premises. Right? And then the third definition, AI can also be considered as a system that acts like a human. We probably ever heard about the Turing test. The real human can act as an observer or questioner. We'll throw a question to both system and human. And the observer will see how the system reacts. If the system reacts exactly the same like a human does, so we can consider the system as an AI. Some experts also define AI as a system that can act rationally. Here we use rational agents that can perceive their environment, they can work autonomously, they can also persist over a prolonged time period, they can be adaptive, and they can create and pursue their goal and objective. I give you some highlighted facts about AI. John McCarthy was the person who coined the term artificial intelligence just 5 years after Turing published a paper about the machine intelligence. So the concept is quite the same actually, but the term artificial intelligence itself comes from John McCarthy. McCarthy is also the first person who organized the first AI conference in 1955. And McCarthy is the person who produced the first AI programming language called Lisp. So now after we understand the definition of AI, I'm gonna talk about the reason why we need AI in our life. I know that a lot of people might think that we're gonna lose our job because of AI. Our life will be controlled by robots, our privacy will be gone, the human become obsolete and replaced by machine. So, can we really have the benefit from AI? Do we really need AI? What can we get from AI itself? Let's have a look.
There are six, at least, top reasons why do we need AI. First, task automation. Nowadays, we live in a world with massive data. We are also growing at huge rates, not only in terms of populations, but also in terms of task and knowledge. As we already learned before, AI in simple words is implementing human sense in machines. That's why AI can surely process all those tasks at huge pace compared to humans without any fatigue. As the second reason here, AI can help to process large amount of data in real time. That means the data can be processed instantly as it goes into the machine. Not only AI can help with the automation and real-time data processing, but it also able to analyze more and deeper data compared to human ability, which means AI can handle the richness of data. Another reason is efficiency. With AI, data is no longer required to be stored within a single computer's memory anymore. Retrieval of big data is possible. We can work from different locations so that the storage efficiency can be achieved. It can also save a lot of space and energy. And then, impeccable accuracy. AI can reach a very good accuracy when we use them intensively. They keep getting more precise and concrete the more we use them, the more we train them. And as a major assistance provided by AI techniques, there is no economic barrier if we use them. AI can break down any language and translation barrier which possibly exists if we use humans from different locations. We call ourselves Homo sapiens, man the wise, because our intelligence is so important to us. For thousands of years, we have tried to understand how we think, that is, how we can perceive, understand, predict, and manipulate a complicated world.
Right. Okay, let's jump to the next section. We will discuss about the AI application in real-life business. Here we will have a look how the business really benefit from the AI technologies. I'm gonna show you a couple of examples of the AI application that is used nowadays.
Bank and financial systems are using AI technology to handle numerous activities. They handle work like financial operations, automatic fraud detections, and also managing customers. They can detect unusual pattern activity from the user so the customer can feel more secure to put their money in the bank. Using AI can also help the bank to handle their customer and give them a quick solution for any inquiries. One of the most systematic transport is air transport. And without AI, air transport can't survive. In air transport industry, most of all activities is based on AI technologies. They are used in air safety and airplane maintenance, fuel efficiency optimization, and also scheduling. There was a time when Super Mario was considered as the best game, but nowadays different gaming bots have already been introduced. Bots are developed to play with you. AI technologies in gaming are mostly used for non-player characters, NPC, and for in-app purchase optimization. In heavy industries, they are used as a robot who give different shape to an object, move object from one place to another, and in a conveyor belt, and much more. It can also help the business with the management tools to keep the records of the employee and to extract correct data for decision making. Medical science also use AI for virtual personal healthcare assistance and appointment scheduling.
Right. After we talk about the definition of AI, why we need AI, and what kind of application of AI that is used in the real life business, now this is the most important topic of our discussion for today, the recent trends in AI.
What is the future of AI? So we have three areas which will become focused on developing AI in the future. Embedded AI is to use AI in a software and small device used by everyday people. AI will be integrated to simplify the user's day-to-day task. As embedded AI becomes more standard in solutions, there will be more of a focus on how the embedded AI is contributing to a business' overall digital transformation. There will be also a push to open data source in these coming years. The quality of AI really depends on the data that it has to learn from. So when building AI applications, we need as much data as possible. Giant companies like Amazon and Google don't have a problem accessing very large datasets. However, small business and independent developers do not have that luxury. Therefore, they will need open source datasets often made available by those same enterprise companies. In the future, business will lean into using the microservices from major enterprise vendors. We call it machine learning as a service. Okay, now let's have a look at some examples of embedded AI. Smart home like Alexa and Google Home will become cleverer in the future. They can automatically turn on and off based on whether anyone is present in the room or not. Well, on the surface, the system doesn't look too sophisticated. But when you think about it, you realize that the system is actually making decisions on its own. Based on the input from sensor, the microcontroller decides whether to turn on the light or not. Let's have a look at another example. Smart autoplay. This technology can choose and play the songs automatically. The song can change based on the mood of the room or which people are in it. And they can also adjust the volume based on the time of the day. Better image recognition will open up a lot of possibilities. Amazon Go already can do automatic checkout by using this technology. Driverless cars will change the way people and goods move. Google, Tesla, and Uber are investing billions of dollars in R&D for a driverless future. Embedded AI is also used in automation of hazardous jobs. The time will come when the introduction of AI will help engineers come up with truly intelligent machines that can function with zero human interventions. Apart from these fields, there are plenty of other areas where AI and embedded systems will lead to wonderful opportunities. We will have smart automation solutions that can lead to energy savings, cost efficiency, as well as the elimination of human error. Okay, now how about open data and big data sharing? Open data means the data is distributed under an open license guaranteeing free access to it. And big data refers to the information that is accumulated and stored in real time on servers all over the world. In the past, companies have kept data very close, but as the need to develop machine learning tools become more critical, companies will actively seek partnership to share their data. Machine learning as a service has already been used across various industries. The current machine learning as a service includes AI platforms, computer vision, NLP, and speech recognitions. Here we have some examples of MLAAS that are available in the market. According to a study, MLAAS market will witness a 49% growth during the forecast period 2017 and 2023. Now, how about AI research? What is the trend? Probabilistic programming, a high-level programming language that enables a developer to design probability models. Probabilistic programming language have the ability to accommodate the uncertainty and incomplete information that is so common in the business domain. Hybrid learning models. This approach that combines different types of deep learning neural network with probabilistic approach to model uncertainty. Automated machine learning. Developing machine learning models require a time-consuming workflow, which includes data preparations, feature selections, model selections, training, and tuning. Automated machine learning aims to automate this workflow using a number of different statistical and deep learning techniques. Digital twin, a virtual model used to facilitate detailed analysis and monitoring of physical or psychological systems. Here we use agent-based modeling and system dynamics. Deep learning theory. Deep neural networks which try to mimic the human brain have demonstrated their ability to learn from image, audio, and text data. Deep reinforcement learning. This technique combines reinforcement learning with deep neural networks to learn by interacting with the environment. Lean and augmented data learning. Different techniques are used to enable a model to learn from less data or synthetic data. Using these techniques, we can address a lot of problems, especially those with less historical data. And then, explainable artificial intelligence. Machine learning techniques that produce more explainable model while maintaining high performance will be critical to create trust in the technology.
And according to Gartner, by 2020, more than 40% of data science tasks will be automated. They published the top 10 strategic technology trends for 2019. They call it Intelligence Digital Mesh. Let's have a look. What are they?
Trend in intelligence includes autonomous things. Autonomous things use AI to perform tasks traditionally done by humans. Augmented analytics, data scientists use automated algorithms to explore more hypotheses. And AI-driven development, developing of tools, technologies, and best practices for embedding AI into application. Trend in digital includes digital twin. We already talked about this before. Digital representation that mirror a real-life object, process, or system. Empowered edge. Edge computing is a topology where information processing and content collection and delivery are placed closer to the sources of the information. Immersive technologies. Augmented reality, mixed reality, and virtual reality which change how users perceive the world. And trend in the mesh includes blockchain. Blockchain technology is an entirely new way of documenting data on the internet. It is linking blocks into a chain that makes the information stored so trustworthy. Once the data is recorded in a block, it cannot be altered without having to change every block that came after it. Smart space. One example of smart space is smart cities, where areas that combine business, residential, and industry are being designed using intelligent framework. As a foundation of all those trends, we need to pay attention on two important issues: privacy and digital ethics, and quantum computing. Quantum computers are an exponential scalable computing model. They are able to theoretically work on millions of computations at once.
Right, as a conclusion, overall, artificial intelligence is an amazing opportunity for scientists and developers all over the world to make a sustainable ecosystem that's more efficient with multiple purposes. AI is possibly the most well-known digital transformation that now become a necessity for business. AI trends will keep the market interested due to constant media coverage and the fear factor that it will make humans obsolete. There is no sign that AI research is slowing down, and there should be anticipation for new AI sub-trends to emerge. Right, this is the list of reference that is useful for our today's topics about the AI. Thank you. Goodbye.